Shalom Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, one out of ISUPK Jamaica. ISUPK started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. ISUPK is run by Commanding General Yahana, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai Barakatham to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Ilathan Basham Yahweh Shai to my sisters. All right, so the government is getting ready, to partner with private entities to build prison here in Jamaica. In other words, building a private prison. You understand? And we know that, we know about the prison industrial complex in the United States. You understand? So we have a tape, we have a player. Is it in? So remember to like this video, subscribe, share on all social media platforms. You understand?
Necessarily, there has to be a return on investment for the private investors. That's why I say for profit, Prime Minister. In the US, they call this approach.
What kind of information? I'll speak. The member speaking to, I've interrupted you, please, but there's no plan or any articulation of any prison for profit, right, to be built, right? With what you have implied, absolutely none. It's misleading the host. I'm misleading the host. It's not been said even in jest.
Madam Speaker, I made the point that what we heard is going to happen is there's going to be a public-private partnership to build a new maximum security prison. And I went on to say that from you have a public-private partnership, necessarily the private investors are going to require a return on their investment, which is the profit of which I'm speaking. That's what I said. And
all right,
Madam Speaker, been reported and in the media, a public-private partnership that has been stated publicly by the Minister of State who has responsibility for prisons. My point is, if it's a public-private partnership, that suggests that the private partner is going to be looking to make a return on it. That is why I said what I said. And Madam Speaker, more information and more transparency around what is intended would be welcome, because the way in which it has been brought across so far raises concerns. It's as simple as that. I will move on.
It's as simple as that. You understand? Public-private partnership means that the private entity would want a return on their investment. We're going to jump to the article. See? We're going to jump to a nationwide news article, and it says, due diligence needed ahead of any prison build, any prison built under public-private partnership. Let me scroll along. It says, the government is being warned it must take detailed note about the operation of private prisons in other jurisdictions before it engage any public-private partnership to construct similar facility in Jamaica, right? So just look around the world, look everywhere that our people live. Like the prime example is the United States, where there is, hundreds, so many private prisons. And you know that those prisons are built, so that the private investor can get a return on their money. So what them do, them lock up black people. You understand? So what this human rights activist is saying, that they should take note, which we don't know, so the government already take note, and the purpose is that. You understand? The purpose is to lock us up, and inadvertently put us back in a condition like slavery, because the prison system in the United States is slavery, is incarcerating our brothers for the smallest offenses. You understand? Sometimes brothers are imprisoned for not paying child support. You understand? And what brothers do inside of the prison? them work for some big corporation for a minuscule amount of money. That's slavery. You understand? We're going to play an audio from this article. You know what I mean?
I think we have to be guided by what happens in other countries as well and the human rights issues that have been plaguing countries like the United States. And we have been seeing where they have been ending contracts. Canada, for example, started private prisons at one point and they ended it. So we have to be guided by the mistakes of other countries and look at the human rights implications, certainly. It is going to be done on the basis of profitability. And I think the moment you start looking at individuals on the unit of measurement of profit, then you start looking at them as commodities.
And this just goes to show you how sinister our government is now. They have always been sinister before, you know what I mean? And when we say government, we're not necessarily talking about one political party. But it has reached a point right now that they are thinking about private prisons, which means all they want to do now is just to put us behind bars. You understand? So this is how sinister they have become now. You know what I mean? Creating the conditions so they can put us in a slave-like or a slavery-like condition, put us back on the plantation. And the prison is indeed a plantation. You understand? We are going to show you what the prison industrial complex in the United States is. I put that up on the screen right now. Remember to subscribe to this channel. You know what I mean? And all the things already.
The second most powerful union in California is the Correctional Officers Union. They give the most money next to the Teachers Union. And they have a prison industrial complex, for lack of a better term, that they support. And the correctional officers want to build more prisons. They want to warehouse more people because that enhances their power and their ability. They want more members, and you got to have people. You have to take Joe's expression. You got to have more of the commodity to warehouse. And what did you call it? The silo.
Yeah, you put it in.
Yeah, it's natural. You know what I mean? If prisons are private, you want a lot of the commodity. What is the commodity? Prisoners. And who them arrest, who them put in prison. For the most part, it's not white males that are in, you know what I mean, the prisons in the United States. It's not the Chinese. It's not the Africans. You know what I mean? It's not the East Indians. You know what I mean? It's the same thing out here. It's not the Chinese that fill up the prison houses here in Jamaica. You understand? And if you want to say, well, black people will be the most in prison in Jamaica because black is, you know what I mean, is the higher population. Look in the United States where black people are just 13% of the population and they account for 80%, you know what I mean, of the prison population. You understand? So just use that to imagine what will be the result of private prisons here in Jamaica. So is black people are going to get locked up? You understand? So if the commodity is prisoners, of course, to get more commodity, you're going to need more black people in prison. So now you're going to find people that get locked up for the, you know what I mean, just being accused of a crime. You understand? Like in the United States, are being suspected of a crime, just like in the United States. You understand?
Jail cell instead of a grain silo. There's a lot of money here. 1996, I was running grand jury in Shelby County, and they had to check out all books and accounts, everything of government entities. And they had this thing about privatization. So there was the phone system, and what was going on is the scheme that the county commission came up with is $1 up front, 6% of your net. Well, I was astonished when I discovered that the net profit for the phone system was $94 million. And you're going like, this guy doesn't even have an office. He's got 3 part-time secretaries to collect checks from phone companies when they bill their customers. That's too much.
The vendors at the jails. The vendors at the jails are making a fortune.
29 people make money in the system every time someone is arrested. That's 29 people along the line. And then you talk about privatization of prisons.
The man said 29 people get paid when one person is arrested. Prison is big business, you know. That is what we need to understand, you know. Prison is big business. You understand? Just like how slavery was big business. And right now, the Jamaican government is seeking to capitalize on this big business. You understand? But the problem is, it is the regular black man here in Jamaica who is going to be the commodity that drives this business. And in order for him to be that commodity, him have to be locked up in prison. You understand?
We can go right as soon as this show's over. Anybody can get on the stock exchange and invest money. And this is what's diabolical. Literally invest money in a corporation whose profit motive is locking up more people. So we can bet and make money on locking up more people.
So this private entity that is partnering with the government, see, they are investing in a business whose profit motive is to lock up more people here in Jamaica. You understand? So that is how they will get an investment on their, you know what I mean, a return on their investment by locking up more people. So the government now will be the ones locking up more people, and by locking up more people, this private investor will, you know what I mean, be able to get back their money, whether it be through slave labor inside that prison or through some other means. You understand? We're going to jump to some scripture right now. Well, a particular scripture. See? We're going to jump to the book of Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22, and it says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled, right? So you might think that we are the robbers and we are the thief, but in fact, we are the ones being robbed and spoiled. You understand? The poverty that we live here in Jamaica, you know what I mean, is as a result of us being robbed and spoiled. You know what I mean? We are put in conditions that force us into the path of breaking the law of the land so that we can get pushed in prison houses. See, let me continue reading. They are all of them snared in holes. So snares are traps. So we are trapped in holes. The garrison where we live in, it is the hole that them trap us in. You know what I mean? And for the most part, our people buy into the notion that you just have to work hard. Then yet you tell me, say, poor people are not the hardest workers here in Jamaica, the black people, and yet still 90+% of us still live in poverty, still live in the garrison. This is a snare, and you just don't understand that this is a snare. This is a plot. You understand? Let me continue reading. And they are hid in prison houses. You know what I mean? Our brothers are locked up in prison houses. How many houses, you know what I mean, are single parent houses because you have some father who is now in prison? You know what I mean? For the most part, our brothers are dead or in prison. See? The graveyard or the jailhouse. That is the, you know what I mean, from school, them have a saying, from school to the penitentiary. That is what black people hear. And this is the book of Isaiah 42, you know, is talking about what would happen to the children, or what is happening to the children of Israel. And that is why we tell you, just come out of these religions, because these religions are not telling you why the things that happen to us are happening. See? The Bible clearly tells you, you know what I mean, talks about our condition here in this wicked place. You know what I mean? Jump down to the most specific detail as being locked up in prison houses. You can't get more specific than that. Now the question is, why are you a Rasta when clearly you are the children of Israel? You understand? Is there anybody else that is locked up in prison houses but black people who were brought over here in slavery, black Hispanics and Native Indians? I mean, do we have to bring out more and more proof through the Bible that you are the children of Israel? This has to be like the you know what I mean? We have to, this is hundreds of proof we have brought out through the Bible that we are the children of Israel. But yet still our people are still following the Rastafarian and the Christian belief. That just don't make no sense. When the Bible tell you that, you know what I mean, the children of Israel are the ones locked up in prison houses. Aren't you the ones locked up in prison houses? Let me continue reading. They are for a prey, right? You know, the prey is that animal that is preyed upon by, you know what I mean, the predator. For example, the deer is being hunted by the lion. The deer is the prey. We are the prey here. You understand? So much so that private investors come here to invest in prison because they see that we have nowhere better to go than prison. So they see that them can make a profit off of us by investing in our incarceration. We are being preyed upon. You know what I mean? The other nations prey upon us as well. The Chinese, and we don't know who this private investor is, you know. It might as well be the Chinese. It could be the oppressor, the blue eye, blonde ear devil. See, it could be even the Africans. You never know. But all these nations prey upon us. You know what I mean? And you are robbed and spoiled and you don't know, you think the brother that live in your community is your problem. When this is a systematic thing against you, and now they are privatizing it so that private people now can benefit off of your incarceration. You understand? Let me continue reading. And none delivered. So we are a prey and none deliver us. You understand? Your government is not thinking about how to rehabilitate you. As a matter of fact, they are renting you out to prison. You know what I mean? Donors, people who want to invest in prison. They are opening up the prison market, you know what I mean, to you. Or open up the prison market to others to get access to you, to incarcerate you. So what will the police do now? The police will start harassing brothers now. You know what I mean? Start picking on brothers now to find a reason to put them in prison. You know what I mean? And your government, your leaders will allow this to happen. Let me continue reading. And none say it restore. You don't see anybody saying like, let us try to find out what is wrong in the garrison with black people. Let us try to fix them. Your prime minister, see, and all the prime ministers before, their solution is to use more policing, send soldier, curfew, SOEs. Nobody say let us restore, except the ISUPK and the commanding general, Your Honor, who gives you your nationality back, your identity as the children of Israel, which is the thing that is going to restore you when you come back to these laws that was given to you by the Most High. Other than that, nobody try to restore you or give you the answers to the problems that you face. They see you as the problem, you know, when you are facing the problem. You understand? You face the problems every day of going to jail, suffering in the garrison, dying every day, suffering poverty, but yet still everybody look at you as the problem. And their solution to that problem is to, you know what I mean, privatize prison so that others can make a profit off of your incarceration. You know what I mean? Yo, it's a terrible state our people in, our condition right now. So that's why we implore you, you know what I mean, watch our classes, come join the ISUPK, you know what I mean, come help to restore your people and give them back them nationality, you know what I mean, join commanding general, Yana, you understand? Yeah, man, that is the only way, you know what I mean, to serve our King, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, you know what I mean, the black man in the Bible, you know what I mean, that the world called Jesus Christ, that the Christian church forgot to tell you that was a black man. See, that is the only way. You know what I mean? And keep these laws of the Most High. And with that, remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel. This is ISUPK Jamaica and the Commanding General, Yana. And with that, shalom.